Alrighty, ladies and gents. G'day, g'day, g'day. Welcome, welcome. Hope we're all doing well. Welcome to another week of London sessions. Going to be an interesting week, that's for sure. Without further ado, guys, as always, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening, no matter where we are around this world. Hope you're all having a good one. Hope you all had a good weekend. Going to be another big week on the charts. Obviously, there's a hell of a lot going on around the world. We will decipher some of that shortly. Gold just doing its thing, so a little bit shocked, to be honest, by what's happening with gold. Still in a bit of a pullback phase. I would have thought that perhaps we may start swinging back to the upside, but again, we'll have a little bit of a discussion about that moving forward. Guys, without further ado, let's quickly check what the schedule news we have for our session here today, if any, and just get that out of the way. So what we can see is it is a pretty high impact day when it comes to news wise. We do have, obviously, for the Euro sector, we've got the French and German PMI, so the two biggest nations in, well, as far as economies within Europe, are reporting today. So that's going to be obviously affect the euro. We'll have some sort of impact initially on the pound potentially. Well, spreads and that will widen for around that time, so that's something to be wary of. That's 15 minutes into the open. I'm not sure why there's a board member from the FOMC supposed to be speaking at London Open. That could also shake things up, so we need to be wary of that. And obviously moving forward, which I probably won't be on stream for, that is an hour and a half into London Open. We've got the PMI for the pound itself, and obviously later on into the MI session as well for the US dollar. So a big day when it comes to currency news, or news that could affect currencies. Not only that, we've obviously got the impact of, whatever comes out of the what's going on, the conflict over in the Middle East. Something to also be very wary of. Guys, if you could, you know the drill. YouTube, smash that like button. TikTok, that's what you got to do. You got to tap on that screen for me as much as you can, and let's get the masses in, and let's have a look at the beast that is gold. Any charts or any questions that you guys would like me to look at or go over, pop those into the chat and I'll get to you guys shortly. But without further ado, let's do what we're all here for. Let's have a look at the charts and see if we can come up with some quality trades moving forward today. Quality, guys. Let's start with gold. And looking at the weekly time frame, and what we can see is that previous weekly candle ended up closing a very strong bearish candle, obviously rejecting what was resistance. Well, it's a wick here on the weekly, but also once we go down to the daily, rejecting the daily resistance here right on to the T. We literally tapped into it, ended up remaining below it, closing below it, and only to start to begin to pull away from it. Once again, if you were to use the trend line, not that I do, I don't feel I need to. We are respecting, though, however, a trend line. We are creating some consistent higher lows within the structure itself. Structure itself is technically bullish as well, but the candles, look at that. So the current candle has pretty much gapped to the upside, which was kind of to be expected off the back of the news that the US have entered the war over in the Middle East. But it's since retraced, so that is quite interesting. So let's just mark in the previous daily candles low and see what we may have below that point there. Onto the 4-hour time frame here, and we literally tapped into, at the open of the week's proceedings, the day's proceedings, into the highs of the consolidation here, the resistance on the 4-hour, only to reject. So we're just going to we'll begin to mark in some levels here. Look, you could incorporate the whole zone, but let's just focus on the most recent levels for the time being. So that's one of them. We've obviously got, we'll decipher it further on the 30-minute time frame, but we'll see we've got also another significant level. This is one whole area of liquidity for me on the 4 hour. As far as support, we will mark in this level here, and once again, the way I see it, we're technically bullish in structure. However, what I can see within the actual structure itself, we are trending to the downside. So off the back of that, off the back of the daily candles, off the back of the weekly candle, still at this rate, kind of preferring the options to the downside. But let's make our way down to now the 30 and the M15. So the 30-minute structure here is definitely bearish. So therefore, and what we are doing is, let's just mark this level in for the time being. Let's quickly go down to 15. Yep, it's the same level. What we are doing is, well, we've dropped, but not quite tapped into the level of support here on the 4 hour. Potentially forming a bullish engulfing candle here on gold. So the buys off the back of the different time frames to look at. So the weekly was bearish, daily bullish in structure, but bearish with the candle probabilities. 4 hour bullish, and the M30 is technically bearish. The back of that, we have a neutral bias yet again here on gold today. We're trying to pop back above this support, trying to close back above it. Have we got any margin whatsoever to look for some buys above the candles high just here? Likely not. No, we don't. No margin whatsoever. All right, so off the back of the way the current daily candle is trading, could this just be a little bit of a pullback within it to form some resistance yet again to head back down? So let's mark in another level of resistance. So I'm just going to use this point here, and we'll change it to gray. To me, it's the start, it's the beginning of the 4 hour zone. So yep, we'll leave it at that. So what I'm going to be looking for here on gold today at the minute is, if we are to remain above this support, I don't really see any options to take a buy. I don't really have the margin. I prefer it to pop up, retest that 33.64, the most recent resistance apart from this one here, form within the current daily candle. So form within the Asian session. We have obviously during the Asian session, let me just get rid of that for a second. We did pop up at the open, gap up, create the high. We've since build that gap, come back down, create a low, lower high, lower low, create an equal high just here, or you could even argue a lower high. Try to create lower low. So if we did pop back up, only to reject the resistance here at 33, 64, 65, that sort of region, then I would definitely be interested in taking a sell back down towards the current daily candles low. So sells below the resistance. All right, now seeing we have also, however, hopped into the range below, only to reject, could we potentially look for some sell options below this support? I know it's going to look ugly on a 30, especially if this candle actually confirms a bullish candle, because that to me would confirm support, which would mean normally I'd rather then look for options below the candle that forms support, which will leave me with absolutely no option to the downside unless it's upon a pullback. So however, what we may consider is, if we do close weak just here and the following M15 closes below support, we may consider options to take a sell off the back of that. So I'll put it in for the time being. So let's just see. That could be a potential option, but I would be a little bit concerned by the M30. And it looks like we're closing a little bit stronger than what I would have liked, to be honest, just now. All right, so that may not be an option, but we'll see. We'll keep it in for the time being, guys. Otherwise, what I will be looking for is, if we do, the preference would really be for it to tap into this 4 hour support and then begin to pop above the resistance here. However, having said that, if we were to continue bearish, then we don't really have much of a need to break and close above levels of resistance formed on the move within the daily candle to the downside. Therefore, if we begin to do so, there's a high probability we're going to pull back up to the next level of resistance. So if we begin to close above 33.68 here and bounce off that previous resistance, respect it and turn support, we look for a buy to take it back up towards 33.77. So that would also be something I would consider here moving forward today on the gold, guys. Hopefully that made sense, and let's see if we can make some dollars out of it. But we need to, once again, wait patiently. It's what we do best here. discipline, trading, trade to plan, trade with rules, trade with confluences, and trade with probability. That's what we do best here. That's what we'll be waiting for today. So hopefully it made sense, guys. Make sure to TikTok, once again, smash that screen for me. YouTube, please don't forget to hit the like button. Very important. YouTube stream lags, guys. We need more people on the stream. Lagging viewers. All right, on to GJ, and big strong start to the week here, to the upside here on GJ. Look at that for strength. And I did mention this in an update video for any of my members who may have actually watched it. The update, weekend update, I did mention that this candle spent a fair portion of it to the downside, starting here at the weekly, only to flip towards the end of it and close bullish engulfing. We've got consecutive long, or candles leaving long lower wicks, tapping into rejecting resistance here to the left. What I did mention on the update call was, if we create a bit of a low wick and begin to pop above that previous daily candles high, weekly candles high, then I feel there's a very high probability that price is going to make a nice clean move up. Potentially could move all the way to 198.50. And look at it right now. So if anyone was about, and hopefully took advantage of it, you'd be well and truly in profits. Anyway, weekly, strong bullish, high low to the previous. Daily, strong bullish. Structures bullish. Candle was very strong bullish. Tapping into resistance here to the left though. To me, big strong uptrend now on GJ. The 4 hour is also technically bullish. Let's just see what we got here to the left. We've just broken above a resistance and there is no stopping GJ at the minute. Let's just mark in the level a little bit higher up. All right. So I'm not going to chase it now. I'm not going to... to me, it's FOMO. If you're not in it from earlier, you just need to let it reset. As far as support, the most recent level, we're far off it, but we'll mark it in for the time being. 30 is also bullish, so very simple one for me today on GJ. I'm only interested in buying it. It's a Monday, bullish across the board. Got the weekly already forming a strong bullish candle. I'm going to try to pick the top. If it does reject, I'm going to avoid the sell. And what I'm going to be looking for here today on GJ is pullbacks to either, I'm just marking the bearish candle, 197 flat, that sort of region, just above it, 197.10. Wait for some support to form and look for an option upon the right confirmation to do so on a buy catalyst to take a buy back up towards the daily high. Aside from that, as long as we really remain above this support here at 196.20, we are technically bullish. I won't have any sort of catalyst whatsoever to look for a sell. So as long as we really remain above that point, I'm only interested in buying it. That is my plan on GJ. Very simple one to follow. Hopefully it makes sense. And let's have a good one, team. Let's have a good one. Gold just popping up. Whoops. You open up the new hourly. Now, we could also potentially look for sells from this resistance. As long as we do still have the margin, we could look for the sells from this resistance, guys. So let's just wait and see. In the meantime, YouTube, Franco, or Porsche, Carl, Bartman, Sketchmas, appreciate you guys. TikTok to the 40 odd of you on stream. Welcome. No new followers just yet. Guys, if you're not following, make sure to do so. Gonna be a few changes coming soon, guys, as well, so keep an eye out for some of that. Let me sift through the chat and see if I've missed anything. All right, thank you, John, for following. There we go. And thank you. So there's a few now. Thank you, guys. What have I missed? Any questions from the chat, from the gallery? Which one is this? She loves NZ. This is gold. Spot gold, if that's what you're asking about. What pair is it? You bought at 33.49. Well, really looking really good, so nice one. Have a plan? Bleak? No, mate. I'll come on here begging for cash. So we're selling at 35.60, targeting 33.47. 35.60? You mean 33.60? 35.60 would be at past the all-time high. It doesn't mean I just sell it. These levels I'd contemplate getting involved if I had the right confirmation to do so. So look at it just now, it's popping through that most recent resistance here. So I'm not just going to sell it as price taps in. I need a confirmation. To my members, welcome to you guys, and I will share with you a link. Let me get that sorted. All right, guys. All right, for goes GU analysis. So looking for buys from support, sells from upon a pullback. Yep. Sells below the support. Okay, interesting. Got a little bit more support there. Marked it as a fire level as well. Let's quickly look at GU. That's a level from these levels from last week, by the way, guys. I'd mark in that point, and it's a fire level. It's very strong support. $30 not technically flipping any structure, but it will be creating a high, bouncing off for our support. So I'd be looking for closures above this point here for a buy. Not a great deal of margin. If you can't get involved in that point or at that level, then 134.50 psychological round number. Got plenty of room above that point there. GU is pretty much what I'd be looking at. Buys above that point. If it does reject just here, I'd be looking to sell it if you got the right reason to do so. If you got a catalyst. All right, so interesting times, guys. Obviously, there's so much going on over the weekend with the US officially entering the conflict over in the Middle East. I mean, they were always already in it, but they finally came out and obviously gotten involved. Up the back of that, to be honest, I honestly would have thought gold would have made a decent push, and it did, obviously at the open, but it has dropped and is continuing bearish in line with the previous weekly candle. So are we just now following technicals here on gold? I feel gold is just doing its own thing, irrespective of what's going on. So again, it could just be creating a healthy pullback to grab a little bit more liquidity from the downside and high time frame picture here in order to make the next wave up or impulse to the upside and potentially retest and claim that higher high or a new all-time high. That is my personal opinion of the gold at the minute. Not really that news driven. Tends to be more news driven by the figures and data that comes out of the US rather than what's going on when it comes to geopolitical tensions. So very interesting times. Partial of F, do you think it will go bullish at NY Open? No idea, mate. No one knows. All I do is react to what I'm seeing. At the moment, we are forming quite a strong bearish candle on the daily. And we are potentially looking like we're pulling back just to grab liquidity to head back down. Trying to see if we've got some 5-minute support here to look for a sell on the 15. We don't have that just yet. Thank you to new followers, guys. Feel free to ask any questions. What are your thoughts, guys? What do you guys think? I did FOMO into buying a little bit more physical silver over the weekend. Not that it's the safe haven, but it's very bullish at the minute, and it is likely to follow if gold did push the upside. But again, silver's holding its ground. It's not really done much today. Fortunately, because my good old Aussie is dying, which always happens in these sort of circumstances, is actually going up against the Australian dollar, which is not great. All right, gold rejecting. Let's see if we get the closure below here. This is just being released from Financial Juice. So let's just see. Let's have a look at it on Financial Juice. Good old Aussie internet. It doesn't mention it here. All right. Interesting. It's just popped up. So on this particular app, oh, maybe not. No, sorry, I was wrong. Apologies, guys. I'm lagging.
Hey, good morning, Justin.
Hey mate, how are you?
Hi. Oh, okay.
Getting better?
Still sick.
Oh, not good, mate.
Slightly.
As long as you're getting better, that's the main thing.
Yeah. So how about you?
All good, mate. All good.
Okay.
Just watching gold do its thing, and
Yeah, hopefully maybe we can get the closure below.
yeah, that's what I think we need to wait for at the minute.
Yeah. But for you, it's also a little bit hard to understand why gold is going to the downside.
Yeah, just would have thought that it would move up. I mean, it did, obviously at the start, but it's since retraced. So the back of that, it's just following along the way it ended last week at the minute. So that's how, I mean, that's all we can do. Trade it accordingly.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's
It's making me a little bit stunned. Okay, it is absolutely. So we are looking on the technicals, and if the technical gives us a signal, so we are getting it.
Yep, that's all we can do. I mean, here ByBit's trying to do something. There's just not a great deal of margin when you're looking at the 15, because we do have the 15 potentially closing bearish, tapping into a level of liquidity, rejecting, which would confirm yet another lower high within the daily candle itself. Back of that, there's a good chance that we could retest the low.
I was going through my chart before I have seen.
GU, yep.
I'm very bearish on GU. So
Yeah, it's popping back down.
It's quite looking good. So I would take some sells in this area right now.
Okay.
But waiting until we have the M30 candle close, and it should close strong. So it should not leave a wick to the lower side. So then I need to wait more. But if I would have here a strong bearish candle on the M30, I would be in on the next candle.
Yep, keeps rejecting the same level. Yep, fair enough. I was contemplating the closure on a 5-minute gold if it closed weak, very weak bullish, using the 15-minute resistance in what is within the current daily candle downtrend. But it's closed a little bit too strong of a bullish candle on the 5-minute.
But was there margin there?
15 is about 15 on the 15-minute. There's about 15 pips, but on the 5-minute there's the to retest the low.
Yeah, understood. Okay.
Let's just keep a bit of an eye on gold here. Carval Jacob, how are you trading with the news? What do you mean? I'm scalping, mate, so I'm not all that bothered by it. I'm weary of it, but if that's the case, then how long's the war gonna last? So, you know what I mean? Like, I could not be trading for, if that's the case, for months. So you just got to keep going, reacting to what you see. Oh, how am I going? Okay, sorry, I just read that afterwards. Fine, really good. Just following the same process, the same things in day in, day out, doing the same shit over and over again, and being all good, to be honest. And to be honest, not a lot's happened during the London session. Most of the news comes out during the MY session. Few more sells than buys for me. Mihai, yep, that's what Franco was saying as well. Yeah, gold is a little bit tricky at the minute. It's not looking fantastic, to be honest. But we'll stick around, wait and see. Thank you to the 6 new followers. Anyone else who has not followed yet, make sure to do so. I'll just throw it out there. No stress, you don't have to. But there's a new sub. You can sub on TikTok now. And what that will give you is access to probably at least 1 or 2 sub-only live calls a week, which will probably be around the MY call. Or pre-MY for a little bit. But don't stress it. You guys don't have to. It's all good. Can you please explain the most simple terms for a beginner? Most simple terms for a beginner. Bullish green is green. Bearish is red. And price, I mean, you could though change it to whatever color you'd like. But as far as for a beginner, I mean, it's, where do you start? I've got a video on my profile. That's the best way to go about it. It's about the 4th line in on my profile page, I think. It's got the lowest amount of views out of the lot, like any of the videos for the last maybe 6 months or so. About 400 something views only. So have a look at that. It's just that, I mean, where do you start? Where do you start? It's way too much for me to go over it just now. But if you want advice as a beginner, then watch people trade live, because you'll pick up a fair bit when they're speaking. You just take notes. If you want to know more about terminology in that, I'll type it into the chat, the website that would be useful, and it's for free as well. So not going to say it just in case I get a ban, but there you go. I've just typed it into the chat. Have a look at that. That will help explain a lot. But it looks like gold should drop lower and reverse the trend because of Iran. Israel today is Midsummer Eve, but still trading. Traders mentally never chills. Mentality, sorry. Midsummer Eve? Is that a special day or something? It's not summer here. Just ask the missus.
Yeah, here in Rio. And the weekend we had the longest day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with the sun.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we had high temperatures here in Germany. We have 35 degrees
Wow,
Celsius.
that's very warm.
Very, very hot. Very hot. Not warm.
Yep, enjoy it, mate. Enjoy it.
Yeah, it's difficult to enjoy, Justin. So
Yeah, when you're not well.
So when you are going outside the house, you are thinking you are going through a wall, hot wall.
Yeah. So I was just looking at gold now, guys. We're closing with no lower wick. So makes it difficult to trust without that wick. You guys know how I feel about that. The pop down, pop back up. For the time being, I'm just gonna chill. I don't see anything of real high quality. 15's got a low, high, low, low. For me, it's just a little bit too early in a week to take something like that as your first trade. Chris, good morning to you, mate. Hope you're well. Hope you had a good weekend. 54k for it, yep. But again, I did get a ban once for saying it, so I've kind of filtered it out what you can and cannot say that makes TikTok happy, and that was one of them, which I remember I did get seconds after saying it. The stream was ended. Gold just doing its thing at the minute. Let's have a look at a 30. So the 30 still looks a lot better in my opinion, based on 15 below the support. So let's focus on that time frame for the time being. Walker, they to the moon. Used to actually have a fair bit of theta in my portfolio at one point. It took solstice longest daylight 20 hours or something. Wow. It's actually pretty warm. Winter's day here today. Not 35. There you go. Happy avoid the 5-minute here. Had a good gym session today. It's been in some good shape. It's true. You know it. Up the protein on the creatine. Best supplement in the world, that is creatine. Really good for you. Not just the muscles, good for your head as well. Good for your noggin, good for what's inside. Very good for the brain. Hey, good morning to you, mate. So it's been a really good start to, or not start, it's almost over actually in a month, but it's been a solid month, guys. The losses I've taken, which is I think 3 only, I think it's about 11 wins and 1 break even. Losses could have easily been avoided, to be honest. Kind of broke the rules on at least 2 of them, I think it was. So again, just goes to show in this game less is more. If I wanted to sit in the charts for 8 hours of a day, yes, I probably would take 2-3 trades a day. But for me, I don't feel a need to. It's not necessary because I don't want trading to dictate my life, and I don't want it to be a full-time job in the sense of the hours, you know, being the same as what a normal sort of full-time job would be. So all in all, it's been another really solid month. I hope it's been likewise for you guys. Have a look at oil. So oil also, similar to gold, it did spike up, but it's now pulling back to potentially fill this gap right at the market open. I suppose as to be expected with the back of the news, and also the fact that Iran, I'm not sure if they've actually blocked the, what's the name of that? I cannot remember the actual canal, the name of it. If anyone knows of what I'm speaking, Franco, sorry mate. Strait of Hormuz or something. That's correct. I'm not. Have they blocked it already? I'm not sure. I don't think they have officially.
I think they have plans to do that.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing, and I mean, all it takes is one bomb to sink a ship if anyone tries to sail through it. So, yeah, if that is the case, maybe off the back of the news over the weekend, there was the fear of the Strait of Hormuz being blocked, and therefore oil spiked. But maybe so far nothing's been said about that, and hence why it's beginning to pull back a bit. But oil, similar to gold, is another one I would have thought would continue to the upside. So it's going to be very interesting because apparently, so I thought it was 1/5, but apparently it's 1/3 of the world's oil supply comes through that strait. You can just imagine that if they actually block it off, what sort of effect that's going to cause on the price of oil worldwide. I know OPEC can produce more barrels, but still, I don't think it'd be quite enough to make up for what will be missing with the 1/3 of the supply being cut off. That's not going to be good for anyone, in reality. What that's going to do is send prices skyrocketing. The world runs off fuel, oil. Without it, the oil is like the most important commodity in the world. Without it, there is no energy. Without it, obviously, well, with it limited, prices will skyrocket. Obviously, at the Bowser itself, it will be a lot more costly for us, for the average person. Going to raise prices when it comes to, you know, going for your groceries and all that type of thing. Obviously, services will be affected because they will have to raise prices if it costs them more to produce their product and things like that, or produce their service. It does require oil, which everything requires oil. You think about it, guys, it's similar to what I mentioned about silver. Silver in nearly everything we look at and use. So it's going to be some very interesting times. Let's just hope it goes away quick. But off the back of that, I really would have thought gold will move up, and I also would have thought the DXY at the same time. And I know people are going to, but no, they go against each other. Not always, guys. The US dollar is deemed considered to be a safe haven asset. So is gold. If people are fearful, they're not going to put their money in Australian dollar. They're not going to put their money in the pound. They're not going to put their money in the euro. If anything, it'll be the Swiss franc, the US dollar, and things like gold. So it's very tricky what to make of it all at the minute. I think if shit hits the fan, then that's when we're going to see gold start to really push back towards the all-time highs. Really going to start to see oil absolutely shoot for the moon, which is good if you're trading it, but not great when it comes to, you know, everyday life and that type of thing, inflation. So that's just my take on it. Edit, I see you, what percent for the month? To be honest, I've not even looked. To be honest, I have no idea what percent it would be. But let's see if it holds 33.50 zone. It's trying to at the minute. Backers trading. I am coming off funded accounts and moving to a live. I'm starting from the bottom again. Not looking forward to it. It happens, mate. Look, hopefully you've learnt a lot while you were on a funded account or trying challenges. But just again, well, not saying learn a craft. You probably already know the craft, but be patient with it. Trade your plan. And just let it take care of itself. Maybe, you know, save up the cash from profits to buy another funding account. That's the avenue you want to go down. It took us everything. It's absolutely everything. But it took Swiss francs. Yep. So let's have a quick look at it. Just consult, well, USD CHF should, sorry, wrong way around. Oops. Well, here it is anyway. Yeah, this thing is really very, very strong. The dollar Swiss franc. Apparently, well, actually, I do know. I've been to Switzerland, but years and years ago, it was expensive then. Apparently now, wow. I don't know if anyone watched the Spaniard's video when he recently compared fast food prices in Switzerland compared to what it is in Australia and it's like the exact same. Literally, I mean, it's therefore it's like double the price or something. So I don't eat any of that stuff, McDonald's or anything. You can tell, guys, look at me. Look at his shoulders. You think you get these shoulders and that from eating McDonald's, guys? Come on, serious. Yeah, so whatever a meal is here, would it be $15 or $20? I have no idea. It was the exact same as Swiss franc. So the Swiss franc is like probably almost double the Aussie dollar. So you're paying almost double. Unbelievable how expensive things must be there. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Craig, Swiss bank gold back. When did it leave? When did it leave? Don't know. Did it ever leave? Gold 320 in the 80s. Yeah, gold was, and people say gold doesn't move. I mean, gold has gone from the low couple hundreds early in the century to over, you know, did stop at 3.5. Obviously at 33.50. Gold's the steady safe haven. It's not gonna make massive crazy moves like Bitcoin, but if it is just, it's safe. I'd much rather have gold than cash, to be honest. Although cash is good to have. Maybe cash in a bank, to be honest. I'd rather be more gold rich. Personally. Especially when the banks won't even let you have your money half the time. Which is just an absolute joke. I would take all my, I will close the account straight away if it happens to me. Become your own bank. Even better off probably crypto, if that's the case. Sumo 1998, what do you advise? I do lost my life savings, £4,500 gold trading for long signals, took me 4 years. Well, mate, first of all, I'm very sorry to hear it, but you should never, ever, ever risk money you cannot afford to lose, especially your life savings, especially on someone signals, because I've said it all along, guys. Signals, no matter how, and that's why I don't run a signal service. No matter how good the signal might be, I mean, a lot of the time you're going to miss the move, or it's good by the time it's sent, it's a little bit too late to set it up. But the fact of the matter is, the majority of them will lose. The majority of them are not profitable at all. They come up with these ridiculous figures, and reality is, it's all crock of shit. I was involved in one signal service group. I've mentioned it in the old group, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it because it's not me. I don't like to sit in the charts for so long of a day trying to fish, trying to hunt for trades, because I'm not a hunter. I let the markets come to me. I have my plan. I know exactly where I want to get involved, and I let the market show me, and then I react. I was trying to, what they do is try to find as many signals as they possibly can to satisfy the masses. And that's what we were doing, to be honest. And only were we successful when I sat back and I said to the owner group at the time, let's stop this bullshit because we're getting wrecked by trying to find stupid trades off the 5-minute time frame using some type of strategy which I'd never used, basically. And I said, I'm just going to call it the way I trade normally. And if we get trades, we get trades. We don't. Start with 4 of us. It was down to me at the end. And I shit you not, after I started doing it by myself, the signals were going absolutely nuts. The win rate was crazy. Absolutely crazy. But again, like I said, the majority of them are trying to find your entries in the 1 minute or 5 minute just to satisfy you. You're going to get wrecked. Even if you're not getting wrecked, they'll claim that they took a break even or they took a small win, exited a bit early. Never risk what you can't afford to lose. And unfortunately, mate, there is nothing you can to undo it. So you're just gonna have to chill, learn an edge, learn something that resonates with you. Take your time with it, build up your capital again, but never, ever, ever go in with money you cannot afford to lose. It's reality. That is my take on it. Sorry to ramble. YouTube, what's cracking, guys? You guys are so quiet. So, John, please can you tell me about RGC? I have no idea what RGC is. So even in my group, guys, I don't have a signals. I don't call signals. I have a trade idea section because I'll give the guys, every time I'm looking at a trade myself, I'll let them know what I'm looking at, but I'm not calling it as in this is where you like buy, stop, set, or yeah, if I'm writing a chart at the time, I do it this way. It's in a trade ideas. If I'm looking at something, I'll let the guys know. Send them a chart, roughly the entry, trade management, all that. They should know how to manage it when it comes to, because the course, if they've gone over the course, there's a whole section about trade management when it comes to being in drawdown, being in profit, how to go about managing it. This is what I do. I will say, yes, I'm in if I am taking the trade, or if I've secured or lost or whatever the result is. Sometimes I follow it up in the VIP chat because I know there's gonna be more people in that actual chat. That's how I do it. Because again, I'm not going to be sat in the chart for 8 to 10 hours a day hunting signals. It's just not what I do. Forget that for a joke. That's yeah. Alrighty. Gold just consolidating. We're in heavy consolidation now. On the 5 minute, 15 is just bouncing off the support that it did respect at the beginning of the stream. Let's have a look at GJ just quickly. Still on the way up. GJ, all good. And there is no limit buy just here because it's tapped into target, so there is nothing I can do apart from wait on GJ. Bar one, I'm doing trade on EU. What's likely price to reach 1.54? Yeah, I think you got that wrong. It's not going to reach 1.54 when it's 1.15. I think you mean 1.154. Retest these highs? Well, that's a possibility. It's open a big gap down. It's filled that gap just now. Creating some high lows, high highs. Current daily though is forming, well, it's awkward because it's open a big gap down, so it's technically below the weekly open. A lot of the time these sort of pullbacks are met by waterfall. A lot of the time. Per token, Swiss price is pretty good compared to salaries. Okay. Forex trade NQ going the opposite way to what I expected. NQ. So expected it to head up. To be honest, off the back of what's going on, I would have been more inclined to think it would probably move to the downside. Just have a quick look at NAS. For anyone who does not know, NQ is the futures version of NASDAQ. So weekly close bullish, well, pretty much a doji count of lower high, lower low. Does look pretty tricky NAS, to be honest. Not gonna like doing the market update into NY for my guys when it comes to NAS, that's for sure. But anyway, doesn't look great. I'll wait. All right, let's see here on gold. 2.5 minutes. The 5 minute is also starting to look a bit better. If we close below his 15-minute support here, could we potentially have an opportunity to take a sell? We need to patiently wait that 2 and a bit minutes though. Low this candle. $77. Blessed by Ningo. About my 50k combined today. It's all good. Just chill. Don't jump straight back in because he might be doing it emotionally. And you might fall the trap of trying to quickly pass it and wreck yourself again. So have a plan as to your next step moving forward when it comes to your trading, whether it be trade small live account, build up, a profit and use that to undertake another challenge. But I would definitely take a little bit of time away from it, of the challenges for at least a week or a fortnight. Make sure you're in the right headspace. That's my personal opinion. All right, just over 30 seconds, guys. We need this to close below. Has to close below. That's the rules, guys. Again, rule-based trading. Ticks the box. We will look for a potential opportunity to sell. If it doesn't, we need to patiently wait yet again. We want the 5 to be comfortably pulling away from the consolidation. We want the 15 to close strong bearish below. And it's not done so. So no trade. Simple rule-based trading, guys. No FOMO. If it makes the move now, it's not my move, so I couldn't care less. Let's have a look at GJ just quickly, forming some support in a 5-minute. Again, I'm not interested in selling it. As tempting as it might be, I'd rather just patiently wait for it to pull back and look for maybe a buy opportunity later. But you never know when whales will turn and get you off stream. That's why we mastered a craft. Yeah, anything could happen anytime. It's just, I mean, we know that with our experience on the charts. Expect the unexpected and be ready. Have a plan for management in drawdown, profit, all sorts of things. Sinu, well said. As for me, you confirm my model. Nice one. Took exactly. Kane, would you ever let someone copy and paste your trades and give? I've pretty much done that in the past. Pretty much done that. Look, it's okay, but the problem is if they need to cash out and that, then you're back to square one again. Plus, right now, I'm a little bit hesitant because I've seen some people who I even personally would have thought would have any issues with it lose big money for clients. So I've done it for family, I've done it and we've done well out of it. But otherwise, to be honest, I don't want the headache. Yogesh, I'm thinking buy from 23.40. You mean 33.40? 33.40 would be a nice level to pull if it pulls back to that point. But I don't think it will. So below touch 23.40, there is good support, 23.56, so it is likely to take support from that level. Yeah, we'll wait and see. From Melbourne, mate. Oz. Alrighty, guys. I'll be back in 1 minute. Don't you dare go anywhere. Watching. Is watching. I'll be back. All right, so gold respecting the support here. All good, guys. Early doors into new week. Delks looking for a buy. No, I'm actually looking, or I prefer a sell at the minute. Well, not right now, but I prefer to look for sell options they did present. Just based off the previous weekly being start of the week, I trade in line, preferably with the previous weekly candle. Also based off the current daily, how it did reject a resistance to the left and is forming quite strong bearish. So I'm just looking at the pullback zones within the current candle. And I've got these levels here based on 15, 30, and 4 hour. If we start to pop up the 4 hour level, that's, in my opinion, the best chance for a buy. I mean, you got plenty of traffic above these highs here. Let's see, what sort of margin have we got if we were to pop above this resistance, take it up to the next level. 30 odd pips, that could be tempting. Let's have a look at a 30. Doesn't look too bad as well. All right, that could be a potential level to get involved in buys too now, guys, because we have respected this support multiple times. If we did begin to pop above this resistance here, I feel it's high probability we're coming up to 33, 64, that sort of region. So we will also perhaps contemplate buys above that point there. 15 be creating a higher high. We will see. Not forcing anything, but we will see. Wait patiently. Once again, thank you to new followers. Chris, just need to pop out, mate. Being on call, all good, not a problem. Rams, it's going to be buy opportunity. Is not it? Is it not? I think that's what you meant. Could be. Mark, she's watching it. Profits build up for trades, mate. Oh, misses. Just looking at the phone. Ali, how do you join your group? Its links are in on my profile page, mate. Speaking of, guys, Education Day, Monday. Any questions or anything you'd like me to cover? Always, don't forget, drop it in the chat. I'll make sure to cover it. Will be recorded for those who cannot attend the call. Tell me what's the analysis, GJ? Bullish, very, very bullish, but missed the best part of the move, so I just need to wait for the pullback. That is the analysis on GJ. Pullback to support, previous level of support. We don't necessarily need to pull all the way back because it is in a strong uptrend. So what often happens in the uptrend is price will obviously create an impulse up, pull back to create a higher low, another impulse up, and so on and so forth until the trend begins to change. Where the trend could potentially change is at the key levels to the left. So the 4 hour level, for instance, which we are actually currently at a 4 hour level. But at this point, I will not have a sell catalyst until back below support because structure won't flip bearish until back below here. We could see within it some micro trend to the downside, but the actual structure itself won't be confirmed bearish. Whoops. Until we close below this support. Could I potentially get involved off the back of the micro trend? Yes, potentially. What I would prefer to see is a strong rejection of this 4 hour zone and wait patiently for that structure to form. And within it, if you even better yet, if you had a 4 hour candle closing back bearish, that would be fantastic. But otherwise, I'd just be patiently waiting for buys on GJ. 6.5 minutes until session open, guys. JJ doing well. His name is open will be a drop. Yeah, we'll see. Liam Juice, preparing for a push. The moment's not really doing anything, so we just need to patiently wait for gold to decide. Orange? I like to think I am. I wouldn't be trading if I wasn't. Be wasted time. Especially since I've been doing it for so long. On the daily for God knows how many years now. More so the last 5-6 years where it's been strict. Of course, it takes some time off. But if I wasn't, why would I waste cash on it? There'd be no point. I think the record pretty much speaks for itself. GU, I really like the supports form just there, because that becomes your potential entry point to the downside if it does reject. It's holding the resistance at the minute though, it's trying to push through it. But like, you've got rejection, you got support, so now if it was to pop below that support, that to me becomes your entry point to the downside on GU. Luke M.C. Kavanagh. Will be a lot of accumulation in the London session, potentially. Jet is your full-time job. I do have other ways of making income. Background to a family business as well, but I do trade at the same time. It is full-time. It's just I trade the exact same sessions each day. Do the same thing each day. I'm on the charts for about 3 to, anywhere between 2 and 4 hours a day. So having a business in background, it suits me because I can sort of work around it. There are times of the year where I just focus purely on this, primarily on, well, pretty much just always primary focus, but the sole focus, sorry, is what I'm trying to say. Lost train of thought, couldn't think of the word. Orange, please clear candlesticks. I see. I think you mean please clear. Yeah, I trade price action. There's no fair value gaps. There's none of that. I do what works for me, and that's just simple price action. Yeah, awesome. Thank you, mate. Gold, are we potentially just pulling back to grab some more liquidity before the open? Remains to be seen. Don't have any confirmation to buy it or sell it at the minute. We just need to patiently wait. That's what we need to do. Well, it's what I need to do. You guys can do what you want, but I'm just streaming. This is what I'm thinking. This is what I see on the charts right now, which is nothing. Just don't see any solid entry.
Maybe on EU would be an entry for sells.
Here, yeah, EU's looking pretty good. Yeah, EU looks the best actually. It's rich, so it's filled the gap, the market open. It's rejected that level. You got 15-minute support. You're popping below the 15-minute support, so it'd be great in the last 45 seconds if this thing can actually close below the actual support line, the lowest point. Upper wick and a new candle. You're back below there, you're going to start to pop below the most recent resistance. So yeah, EU looks pretty good. I don't personally trade it. But again, I'd be strict with it. I'd want it to close strong. Because if it doesn't, we are actually trending within the current daily bullish. Gold, we're below resistance and we're about to open the doors for London. So there is no entry here on gold. Quickly look at GJ. Yeah, I'm not going to try to sell GJ. Well, it's been a big strong uptrend. I'm just going to wait. All right, so London open, guys. Let's see. Gold. Nothing at the minute. Originals, Vince, 5-minute time frame. To be honest, it's something I'm looking at more these days because of the volatility about. I felt like I was missing quite a few moves based more on the 15 and 30, which I could understand why they're playing out, but I just need to wait for that stronger confirmation. Now, it doesn't mean I'm just changing everything. Still need a catalyst prior to at least on the 15 or 30. Still need a candle to close in my direction, minimum on the 15. Still preferencing the 30. The higher the time frame, the stronger the confirmation. But if I've got a 15-minute and I can see maybe some 5-minute price action that I like within it, that would be enough these days. So the 5 minutes not that bad to look at. Amongst all this, I don't see anything. Nothing at all. The reality is, we are just consolidating. G, gold, yep. Miss Garbo, thank you for sharing the live. Appreciate it. Shanks, any advice for buying funded account? Make sure, please, first and foremost, make sure you actually got the discipline to trade the rules, because the reality is most people don't. They think they're ready for it, but they're just going to give money for a demo account and never get anything out of it. Just keep doing the same thing over and over again. You might need to make sure you're capable of following some very strict rules. On top of that, you're gonna have issues when it comes to them making up rules as you go along. That's what happened with me. So it's always the risk. I would stick to the proven, and for me the proven is FDMO, Audacity, and Fivers are probably the only ones I would personally trust. The only ones. I made a mistake with going with one that was new, but we had good reason to choose that path at the time, because my mate actually knew one of the owners, but he left, and unfortunately he left just because he was not happy with the way things were going, the direction, a few things that were happening, and obviously that's when all shit started the fan. And that happened right before I was due a payout, so that was very annoying, very upsetting, but is what it is. You just get jump back on the horse and continue. Can't let these things end your career, put you off. Originals, are you on TradingView at TimTube Trader? No idea what TimTube Trader is. Active trader? Definitely an active trader. Again, why would I be streaming, or why would I waste my time if I'm not trying to make money for myself? G, I think you mean bearish. I think this week market's going to be tricky. Could be, again, with the news about, it's likely going to be quite tricky. Luke MC, Kavanagh 1, I'm only using 50-cent lots due to this war market can chop any second. Yeah, look, for the most part I've had to reduce lot sizes, not so much because of that, but what a lot of it is because of that, I suppose, because these candles for the most part have had a lot of volume behind them, and I use candles highs, lows, technical levels, for me they are, to place a stop loss above or below. So for the most part, those stop losses have had to be quite a wide one. Therefore, I've had to cut down on my position sizing, because gold, and with the news about, it could easily tag you in and move against you very quick. And the last thing I want to do is have 100 pip stop going with my normal risk, normal position size, and it just goes right against me, because that could be very detrimental. That could be a big loss. Small profit, so big loss today. Profit. DS Nivek. Morning from SA. Morning to you, mate. BTC killed me yesterday. Bitcoin on the weekend. Look at it now. Wow. Just keeps getting bought back up. That 100k. So it did drop below it, but we're safely back above it. ETH dropped to almost 2k, 2100. It dropped to XRP, dropped below 2, and we're now back above it. I would love to buy it, but I just can't justify it. When I was buying it 20 cents, not even that long ago, 40 cents. You know, 45 cents, not even a year ago, I think it was. Again, when it comes to what I believe is of better value right now, and crypto is likely going to pump quicker and harder, I just think there's better value in some of the precious metals. And I'm not saying gold. There's always value. It's just it's the safest way forward. So gold is different. Gold should be a risk aversion against banks, against economy, against your government. Gold is gold. Gold is what you run to for safety, basically. It can obviously increase your wealth as it goes up. It could also go down. I feel there's better plays when it comes to potential life-changing profits, I suppose. And it just depends how risk tolerant you are. So personally for me, I believe more that silver is of greater value, bigger upside, but it comes a lot more risk than gold. It's a much smaller market. It's easily manipulated. It is manipulated. It's the most manipulated out of all the precious metals. I still believe there is enormous potential upside in the future for it. Supply and demand is one reason. There is purely not enough of it compared to like what comes out of the ground, compared to what's used. It's used in everything that we use, basically. Ali, what happened today? Took a trade? Nothing. This is what's happened since I've been on the stream. Just this. So absolutely nothing. I mean, this happened before the stream. So since I've been on stream, this is gold. Pure and utter trash. Just consolidate. Let's go to 5 minute. Even worse. So for me, I'm happy just to chill at the minute. To me, there is no clear entry whatsoever. You're in a sell EU, wish me luck. Alright, EU did look okay before. Still not a strong enough closure though, in my opinion. What I do like is the liquidity candle, the current candle. That once again to resistance, had a higher high, maybe a high low at that point. It's now broken low the previous candle. But I did mention I want it to be a stronger closure here, because otherwise we are within the current daily in a bit of an uptrend, and we are respecting. So this is the current daily candle creating some higher lows. We are respecting previous resistance here, so potentially we could just now create that higher low again and make the move back up. So that's why I would have preferenced a stronger closure just there. Still, it doesn't mean it can't make the move, but personally I would not be in this trade if it were me. G made a quick trade downside, got profits in and out. Okay. Originals? No, just gold. Pretty much just gold. I look at GJ and occasionally do trade it if I get the right catalyst. But gold is my focus. GJ at the minute, I'm only interested in buying it. It's a big uptrend. I'm going to try to chase a pullback, or I'm just going to patiently wait. Does present, give me a buy option, which will be later. More pre-white likely, if anything. Then I will consider it. But for this stream, GJ is pretty much a write-off, to be honest. DS Nivek, that major drop blew my account before it made a U-turn. Oh, Bitcoin. Had that happen to me before on Bitcoin. I know the feeling. Years and years ago when it was pure gambling for me. Don't get me wrong, it was exhilarating when you had a good win. But you never knew when the next loss was about, and it was always happened to be the next trade, and that was the one that wiped everything. Yogesh, well, I saw falling bullish triangle in early Asian session, and it is likely that it will go buy from 33.40. About 47 was also support level, and it completed the triangle where there and went buy. All right, fair enough. If you're trading your plan, I don't trade triangles, rectangles. Actually, I do look at rectangles because they're my zones. Circles, whatever. I just simple support resistance. I look at the areas I want to get involved, wait for price to get to those areas, and execute if I have a signal. Yogesh, Iran US turns fundamental buy for gold, so it seems buy overall. It definitely, in my opinion, would have turned it as more to the upside. But all we can do at the minute is trade what we're seeing, and at the minute, the way we're currently moving, I see more sell options, to be honest. But let's see if we're going to get closure below here. Gold. Bearish engulfing below support would be great. The issue will be stop loss, so it will be huge if we were to use this current candle. So we'll need the next candle to create an upper wick, but first things first, we must close below the support here. Otherwise, we could just do what every other candle has done from this level and end up back into the range, back into consolidation. All right, let's see. Looking like we're trying. And if it just melts, there is nothing at all I can do about it. We've got a minute and 40 seconds, guys. Has to close below here. We need the closure below. Then we need an upper wick. We'd love for it to retest this zone. And then begin to pull away. Use that stop loss, the entry candle. And your entry would be as it begins to break the low of your catalyst candle. So what I recommend doing is following the lowest point in your broker's chart if you're following along. And your entry is likely going to be a few pips below that point. And it could be tricky because this could continue to create lower lows in the next minute and 5 seconds. That's what it's doing right now. So upper wick, and it needs to be a decent upper wick. The preference would be for it to tap in. It's gonna... What's the odds it doesn't leave a lower wick? 33, 51, 70 so far is the low. No, it's not. Now it's moved. is going to be really quick, guys, probably. 33, 51, 67, 33, 51, 47. All right. Has to close below. It cannot pop back up in the last few seconds here. Perfect. Upper wick has to tap in now, so we are so close. And then your entry is 3351.47. Perfect. All right, looks like we're going to tap in. Now I'm going to place the stop just a bit above the support. Give it a little bit of a wider berth, because otherwise it's only about 20 pips. Alright, so I've placed a... Whoops. Sell stop. Now we don't want this to pop so far back up, because then to me that could just be another liquidity grab to head back into consolidation before it's ready. So I'm looking at a sell. 33.51.47. Stop loss is going to be above the entry. That's just back above support, so I'm just going to now adjust it to that point. So stop loss I've set to 33.54.12 for the time being. And that's what we're currently looking at, guys. So obviously not in just yet. And if it draws close to the closure of the M15, I will remove it and wait for that to counter close. So let's see.
Hi. Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Yourself?
So let's see. Shorts look good. Yep, shorts are looking better. Going long? No, gee, I'm looking for a short. But I don't want to pull back too far, to be honest. Let's quickly look at GJ. So still, yeah, still nothing there. So I want to get involved with the momentum as we break that catalyst candles low. Especially if the fact that it's just the 15 minute. If it was a 30, I may have considered it if it did not have a lower wick and it created the upper wick and begun to reject and break its own low. But in this case, I want to get involved below the catalyst candles low. That was the first 15 minutes of the London Open. Strong bearish engulfing candle. Finally got a closure below support. We had a nice strong closure on a 5 minute below as well. So we're looking pretty good. Even if this 5 minute closes weak bullish, the following one begins to break this candle's low. And again, that's just adds a little bit of confluence to the sells. Phil, good day to you, mate. Hope you're well. So let's see if it's going to trigger in. Always tougher to manage when you're using the entry count stop loss as entry count as high as your stop loss. Makes it a lot more tricky. So what we might have to do is once it's tagged in, if it's tagged in. If it begun to flip back bullish, you could probably look to cut partials or even maybe even the whole thing. As long as we keep rejecting this blue zone though, and remain below it, and there's a good chance we're going to end up maybe eventually making a move down to 33, 45, 44. Alright, so pulling back a bit further. Alright, we don't want us to pull back too far, guys, because then stop loss is going to be another issue. Have to adjust it as it pulls back. What's the high now? Just adjust the stop loss. High is 33, 54, 27. I've adjusted to 33, 54, 55. How wide of a stop is that just now? Just over 30 pips, so that's not too bad. All right, the 5 going high lows, high highs here on 5 minute as well. All right, so now we're pushing a little bit too far, guys. I'll give it another minute or two. But I reckon once we get towards the last 5 minutes of the M15, I'm likely just going to remove it and wait for the 15 closure. If the 15 closes weak bullish back below, we may even have a slightly earlier entry option below the weak support. So right now, your stop loss, adjust it as it prints higher highs just here. 54, sorry, 33, 55, 24. Where's the high? 24. It's going to keep pulling back further by the looks of it. So it's going to be tough at the minute. We might need to wait for more candle closures. G bullish, Ranu pros. When I buy, when do I sell? When you have the right reason to do so. So I'm looking for a potential sell, but I'm about to likely going to remove it and wait. Rams, exactly. It's totally up to you. Kind of you and understand, but most of it don't understand. You just need to wait. It's all about patience, mate. I mean, you need a plan. You need to follow whether you believe in what I'm doing, and you know, don't just trust someone you see on the internet. Honestly, guys, you need to understand it and do your, your own due diligence and look into it and decide whether it's something you agree with, this particular entry, or not. I'm just the dude who's doing a live because I enjoy doing a live. I enjoy showing my reasons as to why I might take a trade or why not. I enjoy teaching, being a mentor. And right now, gold, I'm not liking it as much. So I'm gonna remove the order, and I'm just gonna wait. I've removed the order. I would have wanted it to make the move already because we are also coming to closure of the M30. The M30's back in consolidation, so now it's just best to wait for the 30 minutes to close. It's experience, guys. Not avoiding an entry. It's just, to me, if it was to make the move just now, I don't feel it needed to pop up for so long. So I'm just gonna wait. Yogesh, I'm first time here, but I enjoy listening to you. All good, mate. Make sure to join on the regular. Rams, I'm gonna buy. That's it. 100%, man. I wish you the best of luck, my friend. And that's the honest truth. Whether I'm looking to buy it or sell it, I hope we're all profitable, and I hope we all, you know, get our confirmations to take our entry and goes in accordance to our plan. But I totally understand if someone thinks this is a buy and that's what they're focused on. Manhub Mohibi. Conflict in the Middle East, shouldn't gold be going up? Yes, well look, that's what people would think, and that's what I would have thought. Seeing gold is the safe haven asset, and when people are not, you know, people are trying to avert risk, gold is one asset people run to, but so is the US dollar for whatever reason. And therefore, a lot of majors have been selling off and money's been parked into US dollar, and gold is just following its technicals at the minute. So last week did close strong bearish. Again, in my opinion, it's still very bullish when we talk about the high time frame picture. But trading wise, I see the potential for it to make it still a little bit more of a pullback. So I'm just going to trade it accordingly to my belief, my plan. But if you're to ask my opinion of it in the long run, I do believe gold is still going to head up. All right, so let's see if the 15 rejects and closes weak, and no way am I taking a sell if it flips and breaks the low just now. With under 5 minutes left, we've got 3 and a bit minutes. So it could be, all right, let me just prepare this. So what I could potentially be looking at now, this candle closes very weak bullish below the support on the 15. The option could be for a sell below the bullish candle's low. However, if it closes a little bit stronger and the M30 closes below, then we could trade it based off the 30-minute time frame, and that would mean you're looking for a sell below the 30-minute candle's low. So they're the two options. But again, first things first, either option requires for a simple closure below. If I don't get that, for me it's still not ready. Such a simple rule to follow. And at the minute, it looks like it's not going to be ready. One ton sub. Y is down. Aren't you supposed to buy low, sell high? Yeah, look, there's so many ways to go about it. Not necessarily. We're trading, so right now within the current daily candle, we're forming bearish structure. 30-minute time frame itself, the Mayan time frames are technically bearish in structure as well. I would have a plan to buy from the 4-hour levels of support, but we're not at any key level for me to buy it against the actual trend itself in a minute. So for me, as I mentioned, buys at best above 33.60 or even higher up, 33.68. Otherwise, I'll just be looking for sells. All along though, I have a plan, and all I'm doing is following that. So it's not going to be valid. Not stressing or not sweating it, because for me there was no valid entry. I don't just take a trade once the candle closes. I need to wait for more than that. Guff Khan. Hope all is well. By those emojis, doesn't seem likely, but wish you luck, my friend. G should be dropping now. Yeah, markets can do anything. Should, could, would, it does whatever it wants to do. Ali, yes, I did initially swing trading, and that was more crypto than anything. But even Gold GJ, that's one of the reasons why I switched to scalping GJs, because I did swing trade it back in the day. GU, AU, all the majors. All right, so we're closed right back into consolidation, so there is absolutely nothing. Really choppy mess at the minute. Freak Trader, yo Jay, what's up, man? It's been a long time, brother. It's me, Z, Doctor. Still killing it, I see. Z, Doctor? Sorry, excuse my ignorance, mate. Oh, Zach. Okay, mate. Hope you're all. How's it going, mate? Ali, clear works for you. Thank you, mate. You're doing really good at it. Yeah, again, it's a lot of times a big test of patience. Massive test of patience. I mean, look at gold right now. No lower wick, and it's just pumping. Predictions or dreams cannot buy now. If you want, I'm not calling it a buy at the minute. Charts are crap, to be honest, guys. It is Monday, and we've had a lot to you know, filter through from the weekend. Bjorn, good day to you. Hope you're well. Thank you for joining. Hope you had a good weekend. Predictions or dreams, thank you. All good. So what is your bias? My bias at the minute is if we remain below 33.60, I would prefer to sell it. And even if we pop above it, doesn't mean I'm automatically switching to a buy, because if I can get an option above 33.60 to take it up to 33.63, where there's a good chance I won't, because it won't have enough margin to do so if we close above. And I'll be looking for sales from higher up, 33, 64, 65, that sort of region. And if we start to pop above 33, 68, that's when I'm more interested in buying it. Oh, hey, what was that? That was cool. How do I do it again? Anyone else see that? That just showed me the bar high, low, open that right on the screen instead of having to hover it up here. How the hell do I do that? That was good. Zach, the war is going to cause a lot of manipulation, expecting choppy price action today. Yeah, potentially. Predictions, dreams, all good. Ali, keep press. On what? Like, oh, wow. Thank you. Nice one. Never knew that. That's good. I like it. What a mess.
How does this working? Sorry, Justin.
You just hold, right click. That's all I'm doing.
Hold and then right click. Okay.
Yeah, just right click on the, just hold it. Hold the right click, I mean, on the candle that you want to print the high and low or whatever. Have you got it?
No. Well, my mouse, I do right click and it open alert, add an alert and add an order and so on.
No, just hold it though. Just hover over it and then hold it. hold the click, right click. Just play around with it. You'll probably eventually get it.
Yeah, for sure.
Left for A. Oh, sorry. Yeah, left. Jesus, guys. I'm saying right because I'm using my right hand on the mouse. It is left. Sorry, it is left click. Daft, dumbass. We're all stupid sometimes, guys. Yeah, try your left click, mate. Not the right click.
It's working now.
Now it's working. I was thinking right because I'm using my right hand with the mouse.
Okay. Good.
Oh,
But we solved it.
obviously not having enough creatine. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's
Well-
way better. So to see that,
Yeah, makes it a lot easier. William, good day to you. You know, buy gold if you like to buy gold. I don't see any buys on gold right now. Oh, I was about to say, yeah, sorry. Ready to doubt yourself. Sometimes, guys, we can be pretty, you know, prone to being daft. Oh, left click on Mac. Yeah, so it's obviously it is left. Getting confused. I like overseas when you're driving and you got someone who doesn't speak fluent English or much English at all next to you. Telling you're right, and then they're pointing left, and it's like, where am I supposed to go? I have no idea. Black Sheep, are you in this trade? What trade? No, not in any trade. It's just consulting. For a trade, I'm headed straight. Oh, all good, man. It's nice talking. Yeah, all good, brother. You too. Hope to catch you on the stream again. Caspi 7R time frame. This is the M15 at the minute. Still weary that I could wake up overnight my time, because that's when most things will happen, likely from around now till overnight. And gold could be absolutely flying, or it could just be chopping about. But it got to the point, you know, a couple months back where I swear that nearly every morning I'd wake up new all-time high. It was so frequent, it was, you can almost just bet on it. I could just go to bed and buy, just open and buy. Carl just knows how to trade but can't tell of left from right. No. It's, and I was getting confused myself there. And there was me thinking balances, Borna, sorry, was the only handicap. No, obviously not, mate. It's what's in between those ears as well, sometimes a bit of a handicap. And can't help being daft. Genetics. Just don't tell the old lady or the old man. No, I'm just kidding. They're all good. Rams, where's gold got to go? Who knows at the minute? It's just consulting. Louis Vuitton 24 bearish, TP 33.45. Yeah, I think that's a good level. Gold is just chopping about. And it's not convincing me in to do anything. be honest. All right, let's have a look at things. There you go. That's a stronger confirmation on EU. Happened within that 30, but that was your catalyst just there. Not sure if it would have given you enough to secure anything. Probably not. Probably be a break even, to be honest. But that's the type of catalyst I want to see. So you still the exact same entry point for me. Below 134,270 roughly.
On EU there was the issue with the news.
Oh, that's right. There was high impact news. There we go. Yep. Totally forgot about that. It's a little bit of a mixed bag. Technically anything under 50 is deemed bad, but it is on the uptick, so as the euro, it's still on the way down. Alright, so now you can just adjust this zone, by the way, guys. Louis Vuitton entry was 33.52. Nice one. Or you've got an entry at. Okay. Well, it's not a nice one if you're actually in, because you're in some drawdown. Beacon back in Boke. Which website is this? This is Trading View. It's a free website, so I don't necessarily believe you need the paid account. I don't use it. It's good if you're going to use a million indicators, which I don't use indicators, so I don't need it. And it limits to how far you can go back, but it still gives you a couple of years data basically, which is, that's enough for me. Which website for news? I use two. Financial Juice tends to be more quick with the breaking news, more thorough. But Forex Factory is stock standard, which a lot of people follow. A lot of the bots basically run off this as well, so I'll be switched on and off for after, around the high impact news, for instance, based on Forex Factory. A lot of the firms and that as well will use Forex Factory, so if they've got rules about trading into high impact news, they'll go off Forex Factory's schedule. So that's why I have it here. But to be honest, Financial Juice is better. All good. Original vids. What platform is actually place trade? MetaTrader. MetaTrader 5. It's prehistoric. It's clunky. It's so hard to chart on. Like, it drives me nuts trying to draw zones and that on MetaTrader. It's a pain in the ass. But the options when you sign up through your broker, likely going to be MetaTrader, C-Trader. Some might have a few others. I know there's a different one. Just can't think of the name off the top of my head. In the US. I really can't think of the name. Bakil. What pair? This is gold, spot gold. Beacon back in Boke. What are your expectations of gold today? Again, I don't have expectations because I'm a scalper. I react to what I see. Currently what I'm seeing is the daily is within a downtrend. The actual candle itself, the structure on the other hand is bullish. The bias, the way I see it, is technically neutral, so I could look to trade either direction. I would say as long as we remain below 33.60, good chance we could eventually head back down. We pop below, close below 33.52, retest and begin to pull away. I think there's a good chance we're heading down to 33.45, 44. We could potentially look for a buy for 4-hour support. That's something I would consider, seeing the bias is neutral. And as I mentioned earlier, if we did begin to pop above this resistance at 33.60, I would consider a buy option. But the fact of the matter is, it needs to wait for a closure. If it pushes a little bit too deep, you don't have the margin to buy it into the 4-hour resistance. So at that point, I'd just be best to wait, see how it reacts to it. If it rejects, and possibly look for a sell, take it back down. But whilst we're stuck within this mess, for me, there's nothing. Chemo T, thank you for the heart. I appreciate it. Yeah, to be honest, charts are absolute trash in a minute. Original is no, there is no active trade. Yeah, order block. Simple support and resistance based off 15, 30, and 4-hour. And it doesn't mean I trade. It's just the levels I'm looking for options, but I don't just trade when price taps into them. Shia Bakil, if you want to know more, you just need to click on the link on my profile page. That will explain things. And what I do is very affordable because I enjoy teaching. I want to help people. I get a little bit out of it. It's not much. It's $1 a day. That's what it is. And it gives you access to a course which took me over 15 months to put together. Plus there's live calls every single day of the week, except for Saturday and every second Sunday. So Monday to Friday, there's always a live call with the members. Tuesday and Wednesday, we spend a little bit more time on the MY. Today, I've got an education session every Monday, and that tends to go for anywhere between, the actual call will go anywhere between half an hour and about an hour and a half if we're looking at a potential trade entry as well. Thursday is anywhere between 20 minutes to an hour. I do a live market update, and if something's presenting, we stick around for a little bit. And Friday, just a little chat after the stream for the group, just to see how things went for the week, just a catch up. So I do pay a lot of attention to my guys. I'm very hands-on. I think it's the best way to learn. I was in groups where you could pretty much not contact the mentor, which, you know, shit me to tears. There's no point giving me money for nothing. Beacon back in Burke, I made some today, but I'm stopping for now, waiting for the London market to open. Well, the actual session's open itself, but all good. If you've made some money, don't force it, don't stress it. It's been very choppy, so well done. Ambassador of Adidas, are we buying or selling? Nothing in a minute. You mark out your highs and lows first. M15, the resistance and support, starting at the 4-hour, then 30 and 15. Originals. Okay, then use Meta 5. I've never used that, to be honest. Though maybe should look at it though, because TradingView can be quite laggy. Lois, g'day to you. Hope you're well. Alrighty, guys. Well, charts are very, very rank at the minute. So to summarize, to conclude, what I'd be looking at still at this current rate, I would avoid this area and just wait and see if we get a closure above that gives us enough margin to take a buy back up to 33.63, 64, 4-hour resistance, or closures below is blue support. At that point there, then we do have some pretty clean traffic down towards 33, 44, 43, that sort of region. At that point, seeing it is at a 4-hour support, if you had a reason to do so, look out for your price action catalyst, maybe a little bit of structure forming from that point there, and look potentially for buying it low, that type of scenario, buying it the 4-hour support. And if price just pops up, no opportunity to take a buy above 33.60, get out, see if it does reject the resistance higher up. And if it starts to pop above that, then clean traffic to the upside for some buys. That's gold. GJ, in my opinion, I'm just waiting for it to pull back. That's all I'm interested in on GJ. Good thing is it's maybe forming a bit of structure. Again, and for me, the sells won't present in time today. But if it does reject, you create that lower low just here, the preference would be a 4-hour closing back bearish, seeing it is at a 4-hour resistance, and then trusting it for sells. Otherwise, just wait for a pullback. And that's about it, guys. I am going to wrap it up because there's nothing. I'm going to have to wait likely too long. And all good, follow my plan. I will be back with my members for the education session in probably about an hour and 45 or so from now, guys. You guys know the drill. If you're looking at anything, feel free to tag me in the VIP chat. I'll have a look at it for you. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys after.
Thanks, Justin.
Okay, man.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you, man. See you later then.
Not a problem. Bye, guys.
Bye.
And to YouTube, TikTok, I'll be on tomorrow, 30 minutes prior to London Open. A little bit of a later start on Tuesday. Take care. Have a good one, guys. Again, if you want to know more, links on my profile page on TikTok, YouTube, all down below in the description. And appreciate the support. Trade safe. Don't do anything stupid. Only first day of the month, guys. Still very early. Maybe let things settle a bit. See what goes on with the news. Could be a bit of volatility about for the MI session with the news about with PMI as well for US dollar. PMI also for the pound shortly, so be careful of that. All right, guys, take care. Have a good one. Catch you tomorrow. Cheers. Bye, team.